Hello, friends and family. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to kick off the new year with a bunch of new content. We didn't put out a ton of stuff this fall. In part, that was because here in Iowa, we have had in-person instruction in our schools this fall, and we were able to have our fall sports as well. So I was coaching football. We've obviously had a lot of regulations and protocols and safety precautions that we've been following, but we were able to get in the fall seasons, and we had a great and successful football season again. So I've been very thankful for that. We also, this fall, my kids and I moved into a new house. We're living in the house and remodeling it while we're living in it, so that's been another endeavor. But I've still been working on media stuff, and it's a goal of mine to put out a lot of content this year. We're going to get back to a lot of the blog posts and audio companions and video companion types of things we've done in the past, as well as dive back into the podcast interviews, which is some of my favorite stuff to do, and we had some ones going this spring that I really enjoyed. There'll also be some things coming out with my book and some of the other social emotional learning stuff that I've been doing. So hopefully put out a lot of great stuff for everybody. I appreciate everybody who checks out any of this content and finds any value in it. So we'll start off the new year with a new blog post. This is called Changing of the Seasons. I am a man of seasons. I suppose that has something to do with having lived my entire life in North Iowa. The summers are hot, the winters are cold, leaves fall in autumn and reappear in spring. I'm also a teacher and a coach. My world revolves around the rhythms of the school year. Sports seasons begin and end. School years begin and end. There is a seasonal aspect to the academic calendar. In mid-November, we played our last high school football game of the year. I cried, as I typically do at the end of a season. It's emotional, not because it's the end of a single season, but for our seniors, it's the end of a season of their lives. I teach 6th grade through 12th grade. I coach our athletes from 7th grade through 12th grade. I get to see our students grow up. I get emotional at the end of a season because I'm proud of those seniors, because I've seen the work they've put in, because I have high expectations for them. I care about them, and I know they will have many more seasons in their lives. I hope the time we have spent together will help prepare them for the seasons ahead, for the challenges and opportunities, heartbreaks and triumphs they're all sure to experience. Life is seasonal. It goes in cycles of cold, dark winters and bright, shining summers. The end of a football season, the changing of the meteorological seasons, the start of a new year, those things have me reflecting. I think of my winters, the times in my life when things seemed bleak. I think of strained relationships. I think of the health problems I experienced from my late 20s through my early 30s. I think of all the times I lacked a sense of direction, the times I felt I didn't have purpose. Sometimes those periods of my life felt cold and lonely and barren. The thing that got me through was often the faith in the coming spring. Perhaps it was programmed into me by years of living through the changing Midwest seasons. But there has always been some seed of hope, even if it lay dormant. There was always some inherent belief that the harsh winter would lead to a beautiful spring, that the winter was somehow necessary for growth. Again and again I have found that faith rewarded. I have seen the coldest winters of my life give way to the most fruitful springs. I've experienced the warmth that follows the chill, the growth that follows the frost, the life that only follows some form of death. We need the winters to wipe things clean. to replenish the soil and make way for new growth. And when we recognize the necessity of our winters, we can move from merely enduring them to truly embracing them. Winter is the stone upon which the hard edge of the American Midwesterner is sharpened. There is a toughness and an acceptance of hardship that permeates Midwestern culture. Winter is part of who we are, and that's true of life as well. We need the dark times. We need the challenges because that's what leads to change. That's what pushes us to start a new path, and that's what makes the spring so sweet. My thoughts land on that cycle of change with the end of each football season because I know those senior athletes are moving on to new seasons. I was once where they are now, and I know the seasons that lie before them. There will be crushing pain and disappointment, but there will also be boundless joy and opportunity. I want them to understand it's all part of the deal. It's all life, and it's all necessary. Every winter of my life has been followed by a spring, by a period of growth and change. That's the process. And as we settle into another winter here in the Midwest, as we flip the last calendar page on a year that has been tumultuous and painful for many, we have to remember to use the winter, to embrace the strength it has to give us so we might create a brighter spring for all. Happy New Year. Here's to the season ahead. Much love. So that's my blog post for this week, and to kick off 2021, as I said at the end of that piece, I know it's been a very challenging year for many people for many different reasons. And I hope that the end of the year was a positive one for everyone, that you were all able to share some time with your family and friends, even if it was in a different way, even if it's through distant types of meetings, that you were able to have a positive holiday season and a positive end to the year. And I hope that we can all realize, in a year that has seemed divided and just challenged in so many ways, that we can all recognize that the dark times, the challenges, are all part of this experience, are all part of our lives, but we can individually and collectively learn from those experiences, that we need those challenges to learn and grow, and this is a tremendous opportunity for growth and for change and for positive outcomes for ourselves, for the people around us, and for our larger society. I send my love to everybody. I hope you're off to a great start this year. Much love.